Ever notice that voice inside your head? The one that never shuts up? It's always narrating, judging, replaying past mistakes, worrying about the future. But here's the real mind bender. If you can hear that voice, who's listening? That's you, the observer, the silent awareness behind all that mental noise. But most people never realize this. They get lost in the chatter, mistaking it for reality. And that's where the problem begins. The mind is like a relentless storyteller, spinning tales about your past, your future, your worth. But just because a thought appears in your head doesn't mean it's true. In fact, most of your thoughts aren't facts. They're just opinions, shaped by conditioning, past experiences, and subconscious fears. Studies show that around 80% of our daily thoughts are negative, and nearly 95% are repetitive. You're not thinking, you're just recycling. Imagine sitting in a movie theater, but instead of watching the film, you're stuck analyzing every frame, criticizing the lighting, predicting what's next. That's what overthinking does to your life. It robs you of the experience because you're too busy dissecting it. And the irony? The mind convinces you that all this overanalyzing is helpful, that by worrying enough, you'll prevent bad things from happening. But the truth is, thinking about a problem endlessly doesn't solve it. It only amplifies your anxiety. Look at nature. A river doesn't stop to think about which way to flow. It simply moves. A tree doesn't overanalyze whether its leaves will fall. It just lets go. But humans, we cling, we ruminate, we grip onto every thought as if it were absolute truth. But thoughts are like clouds. Some are dark and stormy, some are light and drifting, but none of them are you. You are the sky, vast, still, untouched by whatever passes through. Ever tried gripping sand too tightly? The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Life works the same way. The more you try to control every outcome, the more resistance you create. Take the ancient Stoics, for example. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Roman emperors, wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He understood that suffering isn't caused by life itself, but by our attachment to how we think life should be. So what if you let go of the need to control? Not in a passive way, but in a way that frees you from needless suffering. First, just listen. Not to react, not to fix. Just observe your thoughts as if they weren't yours, because they aren't. They're just patterns, like waves in the ocean. And waves don't define the ocean. Second, notice the stories your mind tells. Every time it whispers, "You're not good enough. You'll never succeed. They don't like you." Pause. Ask yourself, is this an objective truth or just a conditioned belief? Third, practice presence. This is the hardest yet most freeing step. Instead of getting caught up in thoughts about the past or future, anchor yourself in now. The breath is an incredible tool for this. Just 3 deep breaths can shift your awareness from thinking to being. Neuroscientists have found that mindfulness physically changes the brain. It strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking, while weakening the amygdala, the fear center. The result? Less stress, more clarity, deeper peace. Most people think freedom means no responsibilities, no problems, no restrictions. But real freedom? It's inner stillness. It's the ability to stay unshaken no matter what happens around you. Imagine waking up, feeling light, like you're not carrying the weight of the past or the future. That's possible, but only when you stop believing every thought, every fear, every what if, because you are not the noise, you are the awareness behind it, and that awareness, that's freedom.